Hey, it's Michael Saul, but everybody calls me Tiny. This video is Divergence, but will it rally matter? Plus updates and a new short to watch. This is stock market analysis for the week of July 17th, 2017. So you like that rally matter, that wit? Well, here's the genesis behind it. I was trying to type really, I typed rally, then I was going to go back to edit it, and I said, hey, you know what? Rally works, and then I'll, seem a little funny and everything. But I guess when you give up the punchline, it's really not that witty. Anyway, for more of my wit and banter, join my free email list at www.attackthemarkets.com, where you'll receive intra-week updates from me. Put in your first name, your best email address, hit the sign me up button, then go to the email you used to sign up and look for a link from me. You'll have to click it to confirm, so we know it's not spam and that you actually want to receive emails from me. Okay, let's take a look at the S&P 500 to start off. New highs, new all-time highs. Great. Let's look at the Dow using DIA. Great. New highs. Okay, so we're at new highs. I think the SPY is going to 250. That's what I'm using as a surrogate for the S&P 500. What about the divergences I speak of? Or I spoke of or speak of. Okay, first you got the NASDAQ. NASDAQ did not quite make it up to the new high, but remember, NASDAQ got a sharper pullback than the other indices in this little zigzag pattern. So it didn't quite catch up, but it's not yet at new highs. Want to see that happen in order to confirm the S&P at new highs and the Dow at new highs. I'm not a big believer that the Dow leads, but the S&P definitely has leadership quality to it. Here's the Russell also lagging, but look at this wind up here. Wow. I mean, this looks like if it does decide to break, this could get some nice momentum behind it. And then you got the mid caps, also the same thing. If it breaks, you got a lot of energy here and it could get some momentum behind it. Of course, could and will are two different words. I don't know if it's going to definitely get momentum behind it, okay, but bases build up energy, and when that energy finally releases, usually there is continued movement. So this summer pullback that I'm looking for, not really rearing its head. But what about this divergence? What about the fact that the S&P is at new highs and the NASDAQ isn't? Well, the NASDAQ is a leading index. The Russell is a leading index, but very, very difficult to play on sell divergences in an uptrend, okay? Especially in a very strong uptrend, but in any uptrend, okay? What you want to look for is you want to look for buy divergences on pullbacks. You don't want to look for sell divergences as selling opportunities. What you may decide to do if sell divergences pop up, okay, is trail your stops. But I've been saying that now for months, and I'm not bragging or anything because there's nothing to brag about with, trail your stops. I was right about trailing stops. Well, I mean, I never think there's anything wrong with locking in profits if you have a nice gain. All right. Now, nothing has come sharp enough on the downside to really clip you here. But if you did get stopped out, there were opportunities to get back in. All right, so if you're just marking it off from, the low in 2016 to now, or if you were able to use a little bit of timing with the charts and getting out on pullbacks and getting back in on continuation and getting out and getting back in, the percentage gain would absolutely be greater, okay? Just something to keep in mind. So, no sell signal here with the divergence, but another caution flag and something to be watched. Okay, if the NASDAQ pivots and decides to pull back deeper, if the Russell decides to do the same, then we have to watch to see if these highs are just a spot where longs sold into. Okay, this was a beautiful bull flag, talked about it last week. It hit the new high, great, but is this a spot to initiate or is this a spot to take profits? Wish I had a better view on it, but I don't. All I could see is this massive uptrend and trying to pick tops being deadly for a lot of bears. And I read a lot of people, and some of the people I don't read anymore because they don't exist, or they don't make comments anymore because they kept saying how this was the end of the world, or this was the end of the world, or whatever it was, okay? And that was it. The market's going to pull back now. All right, well, I'm not saying that they're idiots because everybody, especially, and I will be the first one to admit, gets it wrong. Okay, nobody is perfect. If somebody tells you they're perfect, they're front running you. Okay, they can't front run you on the market, but I love all these new crop of little small, mega small nano stock traders, whatever they're called, right? Not even small cap, nano cap stocks, these little penny stocks, or these little really thin stocks. They come out, they get in the position, they give you the trade, boom, you pop it up, they sell it, they tell you how much money they make. All right, great. That's the only way that you're never going to lose, and even they post losers sometimes, which is amazing. But these people that are telling you they never lose, or they're 95% or 89.9, like Wonder Lip used to do, give me a break. Give me a break. Win percentage does not matter. What matters is making enough money on your winners to offset the losers. Then you could be 50%, 40%, and still make money. I know it sounds odd, but again, not enough time to go through this in this video, but you can always email me, and I'll be happy to have open a dialogue with you. So let's take a look at some of the sectors. Okay, semiconductors on the bounce, just like the NASDAQ. A little bit of resistance here. See if that was enough to clear it. See how high it can go from here. Let's look at some stocks. Here's Clyde Tanker, back to the 50-day moving average. Here's NVIDIA. Looks like it wants to go back to the highs, rocking and rolling. Here's Intel on the bounce. Watch that 50-day moving average. Banks. Okay, so the banks have been doing okay since breaking out of this triangle. Came back to the 50-day, pulling up, pulling back again. So banks look like they want to try to retest the highs. Bank of America, not the strongest of the bunch. Again, not a sell signal, but not the strongest of the bunch. Here's JP Morgan, looking a little bit stronger. Nice pivot off of the 20 EMA. All right, let's look at Citigroup. I mean, this is a nice bull flag here. Let's look at Bank of New York, already at new highs. How about Northern Trust? Nice bull flag here. Looks like it wants to go to 100. So there's some nice looking setups here in the banks. Pay attention to them. Okay, here's Goldman Sachs and the brokers. Goldman Sachs is in a channel right above its moving averages here. If we look at the XBD, though, it's a different story. XBD looks like it wants to move higher. Here's Morgan. Here's Legg Mason. How about the biotechs? All right, so the biotechs we could talk about here when we do the updates. So biotechs coiled up. They kind of flim-flammed out, then came out at the top. They still look like they want to move higher. I believe these are the stocks we went over. Yeah, we did. So here's like a Labu. Still looks like it wants to move higher. Here's XBI. Still looks like it wants to move higher. Might as well go over the rest of them too. Here's this Sangamo. Was gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Since the original discussion of this one's up nice. This one's up like 50% or whatever. A little less than 50%. A little less than 50%, but really nice move. Okay, and then you got Baxter popping to new highs. Talked about this last week. Look at this beautiful setup here. Then it had the inside day, and then boom, it popped up. Now again, this isn't up 50%. No, it's not. Okay, this is up whatever it is from entry to the highest part, up $1 something. So I don't know what this is, 2%, maybe 3% tops, or somewhere in between there, 2.5%, whatever it is. But still a nice, solid mover. Extended here. So, yeah, profit taking or moving stops, whatever you're doing here. And then the one short side trade I talked about last week was Akamai Technologies did not trigger, but still looks like it could go lower. Okay, so watch that one. And that is not the new short for the week. Get to that in a second. So the biotechs, if we look at stuff like BIB, I got confused for a little bit, right at the 200-day moving average, see if this can break out from here. And what will it do if it gets to this high up at 291.90? Looks like a key number, but look how it's banging against the 200-day. It did it the first time, came back. See if it can extend through it. I am an Immunogen, okay, if I'm pronouncing it right. All right, another one. We talked about this one, popped out of the flag, came all the way up to $8. Beautiful. Now pulling back. Can it pivot off of this 20 EMA? TLT, the bonds. Bonds underneath the 50-day moving average and rejection. Let's see if it could trade a little bit lower. How about gold? Okay, gold bounced up into the 20 and the 200-day moving average. Closed below the open here, though. Let's see what it can do from here, if it's going to continue to go higher or if it's going to turn back down. GDX, Again, my friend Mike Swanson tells me over 24 until people start getting interested in the miners. How about oil? So oil, seasonal high into the July 4th holiday, but since then, it's actually tried to move higher. Now it's into the 50-day moving average. If it turns from here, look for it to go lower, and look for it to take out the 2016 lows. I still think that is going to happen, but this bounce may have more to go on this ABC. Let's look at some popular stocks. Alphabet, with the ABC, it's trying to get going, see if it'll get back to 1,000. Amazon just had their big Prime Day. I don't know if anybody else bought anything. I bought an Alexa. You could see Alexa. No, I didn't. I bought an Echo. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not even going to edit that out, how stupid that sounded. But
sorry, I
see,
didn't know that one.
There's Alexa in the background telling me that, right? Alexa, how old are you? Let's see if she says anything.
I'm 2 in human years,
There you
14 in dog years, and 25 in cat years.
Okay, I don't know.
AI years are marked by nanoseconds, so that makes me like a skrillion.
Okay, so there you go. So that's Alexa. So I bought an Echo that has the Alexa technology. But all right, anyway, it's coiling up here above 1,000, and yeah, I mean, look at this, back and forth. This is like a lot of shaking the tree here. Let's see if it could coil up and try to break out. Here's Apple. If I could spell it right, it would be even better. Apple into the 50-day moving average. See if that's going to pop as well and get going here. So again, recap. Divergence, but oh wait, let's keep going. Facebook, new highs. Forgot about that. And then Netflix. Looks like it wants to go high. Okay, so divergence, but it's not a sell signal. All right, the NASDAQ and the Russell look like they have some catching up to do. Could it be a problem? It could be, but trying to pick tops in a strong uptrend can be very, very dangerous to your portfolio. All right, and again, I don't like trying to pick highs in a bull move or sell divergences in a bull move. Okay, that's not what I like to do. I like to look for buy divergences on pullbacks in a bull move. All right? Okay. So, any questions, tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Stock to watch this week on the short side is Kellogg's. Okay, so Kellogg Inc. on a nice bounce here after the impulse. Look at this beautiful rally into the 200-day. Inverted hammer, sharp move to the downside. Now it's in a bear flag. Let's see where this bear flag fizzles out and look for a potential short side opportunity. It may not be this week. I know I said to watch, but that doesn't mean it has to happen this week. So just keep your eye on it. All right? Any questions? Tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Join the list. You'll get intra-week updates from me. Otherwise, I will talk to you in next week's video. Have a great trading week.